Hi, everybody. This is Mike Balzano from R&R, Group Publisher, and of the Experience Events. Welcome to episode 6 of Trade Talks, Unlocking the Experience. Very excited about our guest today. He is an educator, a speaker, an Eagle Scout. He, like all fun people, he is the baby of his family. He's a certified lead renovator, a natural stone and masonry technician, Oriental rug specialist. He's a saxophonist, I found out yesterday. We'd love to talk about that later. Go ahead.
That's my son, actually. Let's make sure we're giving credit where credit due. My son made Eagle Scout, and he's a saxophone player. So,
I got bad information.
But I am a trumpet player, so I'll give you that. And I've been a musician since I was 5 years old. So every bit of credit to the musical world.
I was told you and your son were. You know what? Let me go back to my obnoxiously long intro. Hold on. We'll correct this. He's a husband. He's a father. Approved IICRC instructor, all around flooring and cleaning expert, a collector of trains. Is that true? Or did I get more bad information on that?
No, that's a correct one.
He is a lucky green suit wearer, as we find out at the Experience, a business owner, and most importantly to this conversation, he is the longtime master of ceremonies for the Carpet Pavilion at the Experience. Please welcome Shawn Bisallion. Hello, Shawn.
Thank you, Mike. Pleasure to chat with you a little bit today and get to know you a little and get to know our audience and let them know a little bit about me and kind of how I've gotten on this path. It's so great to be here.
Well, you've been with the, as we talked off camera, I mean, we'll talk about the Experience quite a bit later on, but you've been with the event for a long time. And I was wondering how did you wind, not right now, I know you live in Colorado and you're very close with the Coopers. And how did you lived in how did you wind up getting to Colorado?
Well, I have family in Colorado. So in north of the Denver area, my uncle has ran a flooring installation, then a branching into a cleaning and specialty Oriental rug retail shop, selling rugs and carpets. When I was 18, he invited me to come apprentice with him and learn the family business and go out and clean carpets. And so that was a little over 30 years ago, and made my way to Colorado from California, where I'd gone through a parochial school and graduated there, and then moved and worked. I went to work in Yellowstone National Park right after high school for a park service, just interesting job. And then my uncle said, "Hey, when you're done with the park work, why don't you come down to Colorado and go to college?"
No kidding. And how long did you work with at Yellowstone?
I worked there in the summer of 1992. And then I went back there a couple of other times, actually, and took over and ran the maintenance and floor care in the carpet division after I had apprenticed with my uncle for a bit. So I worked with him. Learned the industry a bit, the inner workings of residential flooring work and inspections that my uncle had done, and kind of apprenticed with him for a few years. Started with, I think, 3 days after my first introduction to this at 18, coming off going, working in the park and hunting and fishing or not hunting in Yellowstone, but when I was fishing and hiking throughout the park, my uncle said, "Hey, come on down here and clean some carpet." 3 days later, I think I remember being in an IICRC class with an instructor that kept me interested, that taught that was more than just spraying water on and sucking water off the floor, and kind of got me on the technical side, which I was curious about, a lot of the why. Why do we do this? Why is carpet? And so the history of it kind of got me just curiously interested. I don't know why, and it stuck. And through my apprenticeship with my uncle, I just kept on staying interested in it. And then at one point, I became less interested in working for the family and wanting to spread my wings, be independent, take this knowledge. And I got an opportunity to help manage the Park Service carpet cleaning division for the provider, which was Canteen. Actually, I think it was at that point TW Recreational Services, which I think is then even transitioned to another. AmFac, I think, now manages it as a park service purveyor and building service and facilities contractor, which later I learned what those terms meant as I became connected to even training some of those bigger companies with this ground level work of managing large facilities, hotels, cabins, restaurant cleaning, and the challenges of dealing with those, from a mom and pop shop of carpet cleaning in people's homes to learning how to facilitate and manage a much larger scale and people with it was my early 20s or mid 20s, and then got wrangled back to my uncle and went back to his shop for a while. And then eventually from there ended up really just staying connected to classes, certification, and the right people. My uncle happened to know a lot of the inner instructor groups and some of the people that were teaching classes about this. And guys like Ron Toney, who was the first ISTRC instructor, and my uncle were very close friends, developed a rug cleaning course. And that course was one of the, actually, I think it was probably the earliest organized certification class for area rug cleaning. It was about being hands-on events, by learning through experience, by coming to the facility, come to the castle, my uncle's business. My uncle's Phil Osserell, he owns Castle Cleaning, an Oriental Rug Company in Berthoud, Colorado. And come to the castle and learn how to take care of the carpets that are in castles, rugs. And he trained the art of it and brought the romance and the art of it and kept that passionate level of boutique rug washing, and systemized a system that then trained a lot of the boutique earlier rug washers today that you'll talk to in our industry that have been around for 20, 30 years. They started 20 years ago with a class that my uncle and Ron Toney were teaching. And I was the apprentice kid in the background, getting coffee, fetching this. I was the gopher, go for this, go for that, and get this done. And paid attention in the background while I was going to college. And I'm working on getting my teaching degree for music teaching is my first goal. And then I just kept apprenticing with the industry, and went to work for Steamway. Steamway was one of the earliest educator, one of the oldest schools of the ISCRC. And I got to work with Ralph Bloss. At the initial kind of, he brought me in to work within one of his 5 corporate stores. I have worked into managing it, and then the national sales manager for Steamway. And then Steamway sold and transitioned and kind of split apart in chemical and equipment divisions. And eventually we sold what was left of that to John Don when John Don took over their distribution of the Denver-based market, and the remaining kind of balance of what that structure is from it. That's a quick summary of Steamway from 1968 of its one of the original steam cleaning, extraction, wet cleaning, carpet cleaning systems, educators through the ISCRC reigns of Ralph Bloss, his son Doyle Bloss, and son Greg, that grow in and grow out, and still somewhat, but definitely with Ralph leading the way. When he passed away, the stores and the things kind of fell to a different level, and I ended up spreading off and continuing to instruct, teach, and becoming certification, continuing to become less than green as one of the younger instructors at that point. You know, I'm now nearing 50. So this is 32 years of kind of growing up in the market as an apprentice from the ground on the floor, learning the rugs, the textiles, the flooring, and their maintenance, and studying the craft of their production and the art of their sales, all the way through facilities management. And then today, my relationships continue to integrate with manufacturer representation of equipment, helping them develop products, doing a product tester in the field for a lot of stuff that's out there, chemistry-wise, new tools, new innovation, new ideas. And by connecting, my level has been, I wanted to get, and I've continued to evolve towards more of the inspection level, of being a forensic inspection of the goods that are produced, to being part of the solution. You know, I've wanted to be developing into the market where I was actually solving the problems by helping make better products. And I've dove into it by not saying, hey, that's going to be a problem when you take care of that floor or that type of carpet or that thing. I've always wanted to be that one to solve the why. And if I can my long story short, as I've integrated from ground to build and beyond. And I love doing it. I love integrating with this industry.
Yeah, one of the things I was going to thank you for sharing all that. That was great. I think one of the things I was going to ask you was what led you to it? Is it maybe a passion or opportunity? It feels like both. Maybe it was an opportunity and your family was involved, and now you've developed a fierce passion for it.
Yeah, and frankly, it's the relationships that's kept me, it is probably my bigger family. Whether it's the family that I've been involved with groups like The Experience and R&R and Clean Facts magazine before that, and to start with a lot of the media purveyors that I've gotten the opportunity, because I actually started out as a trade association secretary and librarian, We had a library that we managed, and all the regional trade associations were regionally managed and connected through a trade journal that was ran by John Downey, that then eventually, when it sold and pushed off into publication. But I was invited earlier to meetings where I was with the national other representatives of these different levels of industry maintenance or manufacturing or product development or training development, course standard writing of ways things were going to be done, creating in what we're now doing. We were creating the future in those discussions, those early publications, by connecting the way we did. I mean, it was a text and a landline to reach someone. It's not like today, where information is faster than we are to receive it.
You're exactly right. And it's amazing. I got about 6 months ago, a request for a fax. Like, can you send me a fax? I'm like, man, no. Bless your heart. We don't do that anymore. But look at how far things have gone. It's funny, Shawn. This is the 6th episode of this show.
Yeah.
I ask everybody, well, what got you involved in the industry? And they all, to a man and woman, say it was I just want to help people. I want to help people. And it feels like cleaning, restoration, the whole thing. It's just really, again, the word passion for getting involved in helping people is a thread that runs through this industry. And I learned that a lot at the experience as well. And we'll talk about that in a second. But
I think it's a desire to serve others. You have to have a servant-minded build in your makeup. Your DNA has to be wanting to help in some way, or you're not going to, and then the resulting enjoyment of making something better, whether it's cleaning a surface or helping someone succeed in a business that does it. It's really understanding the connection to that success and almost how rewarding that could truly be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Two things I know besides the cleaning pavilion at the experience last year where I met you. I've noticed your long running video series in the field with Shawn Bisallion. What led you to start? I mean, I know you're doing a lot of consulting, but you're doing some great media things as well. I mentioned you're a YouTube star on the way in, that long introduction. I think that it's just some impressive videos. What got you started doing that side of it?
I think a lot of it has just been connecting to my fellow cleaners in a fun way. I like to be goofy about it. And a lot of it has been promoted and pushed through some of the sponsored work that I've done with manufacturers because I enjoy doing it. They like to capture that. So groups like the connection that Hydromaster and at John Don and at Aramsco and some of the manufacturer led that connect to my consulting and training, that they give me an opportunity to put my personality out there to have fun with it. And I enjoy that reward of then connecting to others that do connect to that at that level of sarcasm or enjoyment and that learning experience, because I see their growth and that ability. So I think that video use and a lot of it has honestly been driven by my cleaning business, PCS, the need of doing social media, YouTube driven, consumer response driven, is finding the success points where my cleaning business and my service cleaning and restoration company that my wife and I own in Denver very successfully gets the attention of our consumer and maintains the connection with those videos to our customers because it keeps them engaged to then share with others. So video content, absolutely a giant need in that social media connection with our clients, keeping it active, keeping it relevant to today and making sure that they're skewed towards the buy points of those consumers, the health, the enjoyment, the fun. It's not a stale, it's a family business, the simplicity of some of those. But I think there's a lot of driving reasons why my video content or my theatrical needs of social media have become motivated or used. I would say there's a lot more I can do. I'm doing right now, my most active adventure into that is through TikTok by hiring someone that relevantly knows how to edit the content and make that flow through so I can make it a marketable, useful video to put into my cleaning business. And then I might use that to then show other cleaners how that successfully can make their business work and be actively connected to make that energy portray from something like just as simple as cleaning your floors to exciting that you want to hire me to do it because you saw me do it in a way that I feel comfortable to trust that you're the expert. And that confidence portraying through videos, a lot of the training there. And that's what I think the experience really gives us a platform for in the pavilion. And what I try to harness there is a lot of my theatrical the inspections, the forensics, the evaluation, the need of repair. It's really just a stage of communication with it's setting the place where you and your customer are normally meeting, but I get to play your coach as the flooring coach and the specialist to walk you through that conversation in a live setting, inspection, maintenance, restoration if it was screwed up, and repair if needed of whatever flooring you might be challenged with today, and fabric and rug and upholstery fabric or delicate textile in the castles of your town. But whatever it is, we confidently like to show that. And that experience platform over the last several years continues to just be a fun playground of an area to have a great connecting moment with those that take the time to realize and even be aware that it's there. I mean, it's not like, oh, it's unapproachable. These are the most approachable areas with the materials and the problems presented that the market is showing. And it makes it so transparent of how to be better at taking care of it.
The next experience show, as we know, is going to be in Chattanooga, Tennessee, at the Chattanooga Convention Center on April 3rd through the 5th. You can register at rnrmagonline.com. Early bird rates end at the end of January, only a couple of weeks from when this airs. So if you're coming to our event, and we suggest you do, please register, save a few bucks. You've been a part of the experience forever, Shawn. And do you remember the first experience you went to, or how many you've gone to?
Well, we'd have to connect it to Connections, that it was early called as an event. And I wouldn't say that, this is a new event that launched kind of off the springboard of that one ending, which was an association driven program where it was and it has continued to, but since the beginning of the experience shows, and the only reason I hadn't been to our first ones or some of the ones in between was purely obligations of travel or other events. But I've been involved in giving back at these events and building the build out, the live work areas. I mean, some of the large 2- and 3-story giant house size structures. Some of the shows that we did originally back at the Westgate, the previous names of whatever, the Hilton originally and what it was called back in the day, that we literally had pyrotechnics set up to show the way that a house would burn, to then take the items on carts from outside and bring it in, and have fire lines showing up how to run contents processing for fire restoration. I mean, start to finish. Here's where it happens. Here's the excitement of the event of a fire, which we did with pyrotechnics. By the way, that also conflicted with the outdoor events, because the pyrotechnics really messed up all the beautiful truck mounts and vans. I'm sorry, guys. I'm still sorry about that. I know I messed up your trucks, and you had to go wash them after the pyrotechnics for the show.
Yeah, I heard there was it was like almost like a lava ash storm coming up over the trucks. Ashes.
It was
not lava. Yeah, please.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I love
the hotel that we got away. I think a lot of the integration of the many years of experience of doing these experience shows has given us the ways to deliver an event and this sort of training opportunity to see something, do something, feel something, know something when you leave, not just see it and buy it, but having experienced the cleaning of the floor with that machine, or talking through the process of using that chemistry, or understanding the sea of products that are in front of you as a consumer. Because I represent as someone that buys in these programs, that learns in these programs, that grows by connecting with the others that are part of these and giving back again and again. And that's been my drive to it, and it's really my draw. It's not really the flash and flare of the road and the show. It's really just that there was a thank you or a nod in the elevator about something that you were connected on. Hey, did you notice that floor there? Yeah, I saw. Did you see what they're doing? Oh my God. Right. We look down, we notice every building we drive by. Yes, son, I cleaned in there. One time I was up on the 3rd floor of that one, and the fire sprinkler went off. You just remember those, those connections. And that's really what has brought me to still wanting to stay engaged and involved in programs like you mentioned in Chattanooga coming up in April. That one's further deeply connecting us to some of the roots that we're all about. I mean, if we date and connect our IICRC origins of training, connecting to manufacturing and education and standards, we're right there north of Dalton, where Shaw Floors has really come through to give an opportunity and opening their gates, literally the floodgates of learning, through manufacturing, tours of facilities, tours of their technical facilities and plants.
Yeah, the day before the experience on April 2nd, we're having tours of the Shaw plant in Dalton, Georgia. They're like, as you just mentioned, they're very nice to open their doors for us. That's a big deal. We just announced that last week online. And also we just announced the agenda has been revealed. It'll be just last week. So everybody can make their plans to get down. It's going to be a great show. We're excited. What led you to be the master of ceremonies at the cleaning pavilion, Shawn? Such a big part of our event.
I just like playing with the toys. It really comes down to it. I like finding all the different ones and being and seeing the best ways to accomplish that task and that service, whether it was an engineering feat or a cool design or something that made the job just simpler and easier. It's just been about giving a better performance. My mission in my life has always been, and my uncle kind of got this into me with our joint statement, if better is possible, good is never enough. And if we can find a better tool, a better way, a better solution, it's kind of my mantra that I work with, and I'm very hands on about experiencing those things. So trying the tools and toys, and then just having opportunity to mess them up. The manufacturer stepping in, like Shaw, bringing us the platform of playing with their latest innovative fibers, tools, flooring, hard floors, LVT, wood floors, tile, carpet, in every which style of yarn generation, and then saying, screw it up.
Yeah.
Show us what the worst of the worst is. Show us what happened. And then for us to show how we can make it come back and not just clean it and maintain it, but restore it. That integrated connection to showing the product from cradle to cradle, not having to throw it away at the end because we've gotten so good learning the products and building products together, and just connecting there at those market areas have been the fabric of the weave, if you will, of our industry to being in those places. So the experience pavilion, as we've always just kind of come to call it, or fun playhouse, or cleaning area, or live demonstration area for cleaning fabrics, flooring, rugs, carpet, luxury vinyl plank. It's going to reveal even this year some additional just people that are doing a great job taking care of connecting to those customers that need it done. So we're hoping to bring people like Courtney Lee from locally in the area, to have him come on up to the demonstration area again, and maybe have some chance to connect with people that are connecting with him in those workshop areas where he's really working into the hard surface maintenance and restoration before it has to be completely resanded. Really an interesting new market of service that's developing out of these transitioning connections, where guys have been entrepreneurial spirited in a market that has been so, it's this way or it's this way. No, I'm doing it this way, and I'm saving what the market is showing is the problem. Really captured that from the street level out, and really grew a great business at learning that market. And so I think Courtney's going to be there. I'm hoping I can convince Thomas Cermak come into some live demos on spot and stain work. He's from the Atlanta area, and a huge journey. I'd love to see guys like Joey Pickett, if I can get him to come in and share with his upholstery identification, and Ruth Travis with rugs, showing how to ID rugs and different products, and Lisa Wagner coming to connection on the fine fabrics and textiles. So it's a conversation area with things to touch, feel, and talk about, and connect with other professionals that are passionate about what we do. It's not a business hiring area where you learn how to hire and fire employees. It's an area where you learn how to do it. You learn how to clean it, and you can ask the hard questions, and we can discuss it with logical, success that has been built by experience. And this is where a lot of mine has become from, the industry connection, and then finding where I can attach to other things that keep me interested in the industry, like inspecting flooring for the manufacturers, inspecting for slip and fall, inspecting for proper flooring use, proper installation and use of the product specified as specified. Those heady level discussions come in to the cleaning, inspection, and restoration industry that we represent. And I think these hands-on, hand-to-hand shaking, eye-to-eye, floor-to-floor, toe-to-toe experiences are where we get that to happen. Mike, I'm sorry to keep going, but
I love it. Look, I've been with R&R a little less than 2 years. I've said this 100 times. I'm far from an expert at all. I'm learning every day, though. It's just fascinating. And the one thing that was drummed into my head about these events is hands-on. No one has any hands-on sessions, like, especially to the level we have it. And that's a testimony to you, and testament, I mean, to you and then our previous owners and then everything that come before it. And when people call me to say, what's the
Takes
difference? That's the
pre-planning.
difference. What's that?
It takes pre-planning. It takes planning in the event to put it on where people can indulge in those areas of being around those. It's not like we're going house to house, office to office to find these things. It is brought together in a place where then you've also made a valued connection to the vendors and the manufacturers and the representatives that are making the best, most current things to take care of them. And we get a good representation of it. For me, it's been about the experience. I'm wearing my Salty Dog shirt today, and I've been to Homer, Alaska only because I'm a carpet cleaner. I was a carpet cleaner, and they got to go meet with my friends and train and certify cleaning specialists in Alaska from Australia to Alaska, everywhere in between, from facilities like schools, largest churches, the largest organizational systems, building service contractors, universities, airports, hotel chains. I've been able to stay engaged and involved teaching the ground level maintenance and how to restore and maintain assets for over 30 years. And this is my main outlet to being able to share my time with folks in a big way. And that's why I like to dedicate a lot of my time to this program as part of my ability to give back and to stay engaged with our industry for my own family, my own personal desires, to be able to stay connected. So I'm excited to be part of Chattanooga and the Shaw program before, to be able to go on the tours of the mills where we get to see some live production, where I'm so nerded out in those places. Like that's why, or how, and what they wanted about it, and how they've tested it to be resistant against the more than average customer use in the lab. I mean, so just excited to be part of this event. And I hope cleaners respond and get there. Sign up. It's in April, guys, and join us there. I'm hoping this gets some really good connecting attention to the ground up. Carpet manufacturing, LVP manufacturing is where we started as cleaners, and now we restore. And Dalton, Georgia is the carpet capital of the world. It says so right in the middle of town. Big sign, carpet capital right there. Come and you get to go into the heart of it and see a lot what our businesses have been built upon, and flooring of carpet and all that side. So I'm excited. It's so close, and that's part of it. And then to be part of the experience event in April 4th, 5th, and 6th.
April 3rd to the 5th. April 3rd to the 5th, and the Shaw tours are the 2nd.
3rd, 4th, and 5th.
As well as we're going to have a couple of workshops back at the convention center with the Coys and Howard Partridge. But the big star that day is Shaw. So we're excited about it. And you're a big star too.
That's exciting. And things for everybody, I mean, we get to then play for 3 days, connecting further to dive into your business and your personal needs of growing and connecting as an industry, to continue that passionate fire for your business that you get to then carry with you as you continue to grow your business. I started out my cleaning business, my wife and I, small and growing, and almost couldn't stop it for getting up to $1 million. We still manage a good service business doing cleaning and restoration at a level that makes sense. I love sharing how we did it and why we're there and how we're maintaining that. And that's some of what it's not just showing off the latest, greatest wand and swivel to a war, and which chemical smells the best and enzyme is the best and pet treatment. And I'll talk to you about the science if you want to know about it. But the truth is, the honest truth, I just want you to be able to know the difference of how you can make a difference. So come share with us. We'll have some fun.
I think that's a good place to stop. We're lucky to have you, Shawn. You've been a part of this event for a while, and I'm so happy you're going to be in Chattanooga too. Please make plans to attend the experience April 3rd to the 5th in lovely Chattanooga, Tennessee. You can register through our website, rnrmagonline.com. Early bird registration rates are available through the end of this month, January 31st. You can find this and all R&R videos and podcasts on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. Please follow us if you haven't already, and feel free to leave a quick review. We'd love to hear from you. Also, please follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and what I still call Twitter. A very special thank you to our guest, Shawn Bisallion, great friend of the experience. This is Trade Talks, Unlocking the Experience. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you again next week.